what does it look like for you in terms of, I guess, optimal preparation for AFL, and what are some of the things that you like to do that you put into place that the pros?
It's kind of a bit of a reverse engineering from there. So what are we doing on the field? What are some of our big rocks that we need to tick off? It's going to get those guys right to do that on the field. And then I guess the biggest thing is our prep has to kind of reflect where we are in the week, what we need for that particular training day, and maybe some other key work-ons that we think as an athletic performance department that we need to place a bit of emphasis on, or things that might slip through the cracks or we don't have time for in our gym sessions that we can tip into that pre-training preparation time.
The nuance with it all, how often would you change a routine? Like you said, maybe the medical team has said, geez, the groins are pretty tight, we're going to 6-day break, and you're like, okay, I'm going to let the performance staff know we're going to add in some groin mobs or some isometric, whatever it might be. You're changing the routine to maybe last week.
Probably the biggest thing is just having that awareness of what's happening in the like global program as well. So not just staying with my blinkers on and being like, oh, well, this is what I'm doing, and no matter what, this is what's going to happen. It's having that flexibility and that understanding of what's going on with the rest of the program. And again, like if it's a short turnaround, we might kind of, rather than having 3 really big athletic performance kind of based stations, we might go like, hey, look, let's kick it back a gear. Like, hey, let's have a mobility focus today. And we can still make that mobility quite dynamic where we have to, or where we want to. And the biggest thing is keeping an open mind to what you're doing in that prep phase, and adjusting it as it needs to be adjusted, whether it's because of the schedule or again, because of what the rest of the program is doing, or how the players are responding to that program.
And a rehab's such a great place where you do have the time, a unique situation where you can spend so much time with the athlete and truly make change. Is that part of the rewarding experience with your role at the moment with the reconditioning side of things?
I'm drawn to it because you get to have those kind of tighter interactions with players, and you kind of get to see, you genuinely see some guys when they're at their lowest ebb, like guys who have come off like massive knee injuries or massive shoulder injuries or recurrent hamstrings or whatever the case may be. So it's challenging from a coaching perspective as well as I wouldn't know, but it's challenging from an athlete perspective as well, because that's their livelihood. And that's kind of, for a lot of them, that's for better or worse, like it's what their identity is. But for me, that's why I really love that kind of rehab space. You get that connection with them, and you get to see them go from that dark hole to doing what they love doing. So yeah, it's very, very rewarding.
Any sort of lasting takeaways that you think for those looking to bring this in?
There's no such thing as too much detail. And I think I've probably learned that the hard way over my career. Like, the more detail you have, if you do have something that goes wrong or you have a miss, it's a lot easier to find out where that issue might lie. So, and like things like timing and stuff like that, not necessarily learn the hard way, but it's something you learn as you get older and a bit wiser. There's a few grey hairs in the beard now. So the tough conversations are good conversations, because no one's doing it you would hope that no one's doing it because it's a personal thing, but the tough conversations are there because we're just all trying to get better, whether it's the coaches trying to get better or players trying to get better. Like, tough conversations are what helps us grow. So yeah, detail, communication, don't be afraid of tough conversations is probably the crux of it.
Final one, mate. You mentioned Luke Vella and how he was pretty strong influence from a reconditioning philosophy. What were some of those sort of principles and methods that you really took on board that you find are really effective at your role at the Crows?
Biggest one was just having that detail. And I think one thing we always talked about was having a high care, high challenge environment. So obviously we're there to really help the players get back to where they want to get to, but at the same time, like, really pushing them, not necessarily to the limit, but pushing them in different ways to help them get to where they need to get to.